Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the SheHH Podcast, and I am super excited for our guest today. Listen, in the 4 seasons we've done this podcast, or 3 and a bit, you've been on the list, but I'm so glad that we finally got the one. In fact, let me let you introduce yourself. How would you introduce yourself to someone who doesn't know you?
Hello, I'm Naffymar, an artist, an urban gospel artist.
Yes.
I love to do music and I love to express my art. I'm a Christian who reaches out to the world through music.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the short list, the short bio.
Yeah,
the
that's
short
a
bio.
very short one, yeah.
Because I feel like Naffymar is one of the most consistent artists that we have currently. Like someone who's actually like actively releasing music. Is that not true? Every month there's something dropping or a collab, and it means that we're able to like keep up with, or we're able to. If you're hungry for new music, there's always new music to enjoy. And again, I'm saying there's consistent music, but it's all of quality. It's not like you're just throwing half-done things out. Like they're consistent. So I would just love to know a bit about the musical journey, because according to Spotify, you've been doing this since about 2016.
Yes.
So from there till now, how have we gotten here?
Oh, it's been a journey, man. Let me just say God is good. It's been a journey of self-discovery, and I think I'm still on that journey, because you're constantly, or as a person, you should strive to constantly reinvent yourself, do better, get better. So I've always been passionate about music. Before 2016, I wasn't sure what kind of music I wanted to do, but I just loved the cameras. I loved being, doing music. I loved doing all those things. And I had an encounter, obviously, and I realized, this gift that God has given me is for the glory of God. So I started out just writing music, and then I decided to study music in university.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. So I started off in college, because I used to live in Italy. Then I moved here. Funny enough, I was studying information technology when I was in Italy. Okay,
so it was like a really like by the book subject. And
it was. And then we moved here and we're trying to discover what college to go to. My mom was like, you know what? Since like you're very passionate about music, why don't you do music? That kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a shift. That itself was like a testimony, I would say, because So I started doing that, and then in college, that's when I started to experiment music. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say I started doing music professionally in 2016. However, I was still discovering myself, experimenting.
What you like.
Yeah, so I started putting out music 2016, but I'll really say I officially started music in like 2018. Okay. That's when I was like, okay,
arrived.
Not really even arrived, but you can just tell, like, God was literally like, okay, we've just started, let's start. 2018, 2019, I would say that journey started, and my Spotify started to grow. I started to meet people, different things like that. So it's been a journey of just learning and, discovering myself and evolving.
I love that. That's so nice. And you mentioned like studying music as well. So a lot of artists is the kind of thing that they had a passion for music. They felt like they were called to do it, but they didn't necessarily study it, by the book or go to school for it. But you actually went to university and studied it. Yeah. How has that, do you think, impacted your musical journey?
It has, because it's not just, I feel like, again, I'm not sure, but I feel like with some musicians, it's more of a thing of passion. So they're not well informed about what they're doing. They just, this sounds nice, this. But when you study, you kind of have knowledge that will help you build. Because I believe that as Christians, we're supposed to be excellent in everything that we do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you find that people don't rate Christians because they feel like we just do things wishy-washy and then put it out there. So I'm like, if other people would go the length to, release music that's not, for whatever cause they're doing it, I have to do even more for Jesus Christ. I have to do more for my Lord. So I'm like, this music deserves excellence. So I just don't want to do it, not knowing exactly what to do. So that really helped, because it helped me to build my confidence. It helped me to build knowledge on what I'm doing, the music I'm doing. So like, I record myself now. I don't have to go to a studio, and that's because I learned it in university. I learned all those things. I am able to go in a studio, know how to work my way, produce. I don't have to wait for a producer before I can get in a studio to record myself. So most of my projects, I have worked with a producer in terms of making the beats, but also I actually know how to produce music.
Have that knowledge.
Yes, I know how to produce music, just that I'd rather focus on the singing. So then I collaborate with producers, but then I record myself. I know my way around the studio. So those things help, especially if you're not going the producer route. If you're going,
That's really interesting. We've spoken to quite a few artists who have talked about one of the limitations of their musical journey has been, oh, you know, I'm not a producer. I don't even know how the studio works. I don't know how mics work. And even today, Naffymar defo helped me. She defo helped me today. So it's really interesting that you actually do have that producer hat, even though you don't always need to use it. How would you encourage other women who are looking to develop that producer kind of skill?
Listen, we're not a lot in this space. We need everybody. So
all hands on deck.
Literally all hands. Like, even if you look at, you know, if you Google or you look at the history and things happening, a lot of times you see a lot of guys, which is great. But I'm just saying, like, women, we're very resourceful. We're very smart. There's so much we can do. And it's nice, you know, there's not a lot of female producers out there. So if you have a flair for it, if you have a passion for it, you need a lot of patience, I'm telling you. That's one of the reasons why I ran away from production, to be honest. Because you would be there for hours trying to find the right sample, the right sound, the right sample pack. I'm telling you, that's another ball game. So women, I think we're quite patient.
Yeah, we've had to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you think that you want to be a producer, it's not going to be easy. Nothing starts easy. So don't be discouraged when you're trying to do something and it's not working. So a good example is Glochi. She's a fantastic producer.
You guys have a song together as well.
Yes, we do. She sings, she's great, but she's also a producer. And she's worked in it for years and years. And she is a fantastic producer. And she didn't just wake up and become a fantastic producer. It's something that she's put in the
cultivated.
work. Yeah, so wherever you are, if you're a lady and you think you like producing or you have a passion for it, don't stop. Just keep working. You might not be where you like want to be right now, but if you put in the work, I'm telling you, you would make an impact.
I love that. Yeah, we definitely want to see more female producers. I was speaking to Praise. I don't know if you know Praise in the Bangu.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were speaking a while ago, and she was talking about this all-female project that they were working on, and how they even struggled to find like female producers and female engineers, people that could actually work on the like behind the scenes things. So I think encouraging the next generation of artists that if you've been called to music, you might not always want like be the one that's called to sing or rap. It might be like, hey, let's make this sound good. Let's make sure it's mixed well.
Listen, there's so many roles in the music industry. Just like everybody obviously knows the one who's in front of the cameras, who's singing, but you could be an excellent songwriter. Not all the times, like when you write songs, you have to be the one to sing, because you might not execute it as good as you've sang it. Somebody else might be out there, you know. So definitely collaboration, and also knowing that there's so many things you can do, and you can make so much impact in the gospel music industry, because we need that excellence. So whatever gift you have, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're the one singing or you're the one writing the music. You can be the sound engineer. You could be the, you know, videographer. You can do so many things.
There's so many elements. So, I love that you mentioned collaboration, because that was even going to be my next question. You are known for a good feature. My good sis here. How many songs have you featured in, or you have someone featured in yours? You're definitely like a poster woman for collaboration, and I love that in this industry, especially in this country. It's something that we definitely need to see more of. You know, we've got some of our faves, the male faves, like Called Out, Marizu. And then the females, you know, you said Glochi, there's also Asha, Elia. Like, I think it's so amazing that there's always some kind of form of, like, working together in your songs.
Funny enough, I feel like I've not even done enough collaboration.
Really?
So, like,
I'm coming for you. Go and spend time on some other people's Spotify, and I think you'll really appreciate how, like, diverse yours is. And yours is also very international as well, because you work with TBaz quite a lot. And then you have the UK people as well that you work with. But I just wanted to ask you, why is collaboration something that you, like, obviously care about?
It's so important. Like, for example, a body, right? Hands cannot work alone. You need the hands, you need the legs, So as Christians, as a body, even look outside the Christian world, right? People outside, they collaborate a lot. Even like on a song, you see one song, there's like 10 people that are on the song. Yeah. Somebody just wrote the chorus, somebody wrote one line, somebody wrote the hook. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's so important that we share our gifts, work together. Sometimes collaborations may not bring out the best in you. Let's be honest. Sometimes you just need to be in your space and do what God has told you to do. Sometimes you need other minds. You know, for excellence, you need the best. When you're building a house, there's so many things that are involved, that are required to build a house. You don't just say, oh, I'm going to do this all on my own. So as a Christian, it's beautiful because there's somebody whom I know, Paula, right? And Melissa, and somebody else might not know Naffymar. But because they know Paula and we've worked together, they discover Naffymar. Same. Otherwise, you know what I mean? So it's so important that we're able to help each other. We're able to spread this word And collaboration is a very, very good tool to do that.
That is beautiful. Oh, I love that. And you're definitely evidence of that, like, beautiful cohesion of working with people and creating something beautiful. And even with the different collaborations, there's also the different, like, sounds.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I sent you the email, it was like, oh, you know, I don't know who did this nickname, but the nickname of the gospel, I'm a piano queen. And yes, the truth. But you, like, really don't stick to one genre. Like, you've tried, you know, a little bit of something of different things.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you? And, like, which, like, how did you develop that, like, all-round sound?
Personally, I believe that, I just feel you shouldn't be boxed or put into a space where I don't like to be predictable. I don't like to be, Naffymar is just great with R&B. So, okay, I want to be that artist, like I said, that gives excellence no matter the genre. So let it be R&B, let it be reggae, let it be pop, let it be amapiano. And I think because of my background growing up, the kind of music I listen to all genres, from rock to rap to R&B.
Okay, rock.
Literally everything. Funny enough, when I started out, I was leaning towards the rock side. You won't find those videos. You won't.
Better go do your research.
You won't. And funny enough, I was looking through my YouTube and some of the videos I had on private, and I was laughing.
The growth.
No, girl. The growth. I was like, I did rock. I was rapping. Maybe
rapping. That's one to unlock. I think personally, I'm here for it. You know?
I did a full song freestyle, and I don't know if you know this Major Lazer song, "Lean On."
Yes.
And I sang the chorus, and then I rapped the entire 2 verses.
Get you a woman that can do it all.
You won't find it.
For now.
For now, you won't
By
find it.
the time they listen to this, there might be a new song that's dropped and you're full on rapping.
I was actually considering maybe I should revive that song. It was quite cool, but it's too cringe. It's too cringe. But yeah, I just love to explore. I want to be able to express God however it comes to me. I want to be able to express my life. So if today I'm feeling like it's guitar and just my vocals, let's give it to them, you know, different things. So I just love to explore, and I don't want to be put in a box of, you can only do this. Who says? Who made the rules?
Who said so? It's true. No, I love that. I love that you have always kind of paved your own way in terms of sound, in terms of the way that you express the gospel, the way that you express your story, and the fact that you have music kind of for any situation. You know, if you're happy, you got the music. If you need something mellow, there's there. You know, love songs, they're there. But I was like, is there more coming?
Oh, okay.
Maybe. My question for you is, what's the kind of like dream project or the dream collaboration you would love to either be involved in or like spearhead?
Girl.
Yes. We're going there.
I have a book full of dreams, you know.
That definitely sounds like a title.
I know, a book full of dreams.
dreams.
I've always been a dreamer. I've had so many things. But now you're making me think, because it's just like my head's gone blank. But there's a lot of artists that I'd really love to work with.
They could be in the Christian space, secular space, worldwide. Like,
I love Lauryn Hill.
Really?
She's a legend. I used to be so gassed when people say it sound like her. I used to be.
I hear it.
I love Lauryn Hill. Definitely Travis Green. I absolutely love Travis Green. Mali Music.
I hear Mali Music. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, that does make sense to me.
Yeah, there's a couple. Let me just mention those 3 for now, but there's a couple, and I'm still exploring. I feel like the people I really wanted to collab with, like some years ago now, when I think of it, I'm like, nah, I've moved on. Not because I don't rate them, but my head is just in a different space.
Yeah.
So,
You've grown, you've changed, you've evolved as a person,
as a woman. If you ask me tomorrow, it might be different answers.
I mean, the reason I love to ask this question is because we say, that's super far-fetched, that's never going to happen. But how many people have said, I want to make this happen, and then it happens, and you're like, I'm living the dream. Like, this is something I said I wanted to do, and I made it. So I genuinely believe like nothing is like too out of reach, especially with God.
Anything is possible.
Anything. Listen, with this, our Heavenly Father, we're good. We're
just
set.
Put your mind to it. That's one thing I've seen. Just put your mind to it. Anything is possible.
No, I love that. Even just staying on the vein of like creating music. Are you the type of person who will map out a sound first? So like, I've just heard something is in my head and I'm la 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 la, and then write to that? Or are you someone who comes with lyrics and you're like, I really want to put this in a song, and then you build a melody around that?
So the same way I'm like, I don't like to be boxed, I like to experiment. It just happens differently. Sometimes I am walking maybe to a train station and like I just hear this lyrics and I have this melody, or I hear a soundtrack, I hear a beat, or even an existing song, and I'm like, I want to do something like this, but with this kind of, so maybe I get inspiration from the story writing, from how it's written, or from the sound, or I already write stuff. or sometimes I hear something that's not even related to music, and I'm like, I think I want to make this into a song.
Oh, I love that.
Or I'm like, yo, TBaz, I heard something like this. Can you make a beat? I want to go this direction.
And
Make
he's
this
incredible.
beat for me. He is absolutely incredible. I'm like, oh, Levi, make this. You know, my producers, and then they send it, and I'm like, okay, I like this, and then we work on the production. And that. So it just depends on the mood and inspiration.
Hey, interesting. I always wondered, because sometimes you listen to songs and you're like, how did you come up with this lyric? Or you hear a sound and you're like, what came to you in your dream to think, oh yeah, I'm going to add this click here and this trumpet here and this and that. So it's really interesting that it's different each time.
Sometimes it's just enjoying the music, you know, when you're enjoying it. And sometimes too, we're just so critical that some of the songs that you hear now are songs that we've had for time. Like, even, to be honest, most of the songs I'm releasing now are not the songs I'm writing now. They're songs that are just like, okay, I need to get rid of, you know what, you need to get rid of stuff so that new wine can flow and new stuff can, so I'm just like, okay, so I'm at that space now that I'm just putting out stuff that, or collabs that I've promised, and I'm like, you know,
it's finally coming out.
So yeah, so for new stuff, probably like end of second half of this year, that you actually hear stuff I'm doing now. So anything I'm hearing now is new to you.
It's new to you. By the time you guys listen to this. No, but I mean, we're saying this, but by the time this comes out, Naffymar would have dropped 3 singles, an album, a book, like a world tour. You know? So, I love it. No, it's so funny you mentioned that, because while I was researching for this, I was going back on your Spotify, and back in 2020, you released 2 EPs, like 2 good length EPs, and then from then, so into 2021 till now, you've just been dropping singles. I wanted to know if this was like some kind of marketing strategy or it's just the way that life happened. But what was it that made you think these are 2 bodies of work that, you know, we ended up actually really needing in 2020, can I just say? We needed that. We needed more music in 2020. To now where 2021, 2022, 2023, it's been like just regularly releasing music.
To be honest, I would say both. However, it's just been a thing of, since 2020, I've planned like an EP and album like so many times, but when it's not there, it's not there. So I'm just like, I still have songs that I've already planned. I'm gonna put this in an EP or album, but I'm like, nah single. So you just know when it's time. And I felt like for a bit, an EP's coming out by the way, but I felt like for a bit it was just time to put out singles. But if I want to drop an album, I want that album to be the most excellent thing anyone has ever heard. And just because God deserves it, and I have a message for the world, not just for Christians. I have a message for the world, because the gospel is for the world. It's not for Christians, you know, because we're already saved. So I have something to tell the world, and if I'm going to tell the world something, it has to be the best. It has to be excellent. It has to be able to compete with other people that are not even Christians. So
that's true.
That's why album is not something you rush, and I also believe that I want to build my followers to a certain, you know, point. I want to build the audience to a certain point that's album ready. So personally, I don't think I'm album ready yet, because I haven't hit that mark or seen that, you know, seen it. Just let's just leave it like that.
That makes sense. I wanted to ask, like, for new artists or for people who are trying to build that brand, build that audience, like you said, how do you manage that? Because I know new artists that get excited, you know, I've got 5 songs ready, let me do an EP, but no one knows them yet. They haven't been able to build an audience yet. How do you tell yourself and get to the right mind frame to know when the right time is?
Definitely. You first of all have to know that there's no rush in these things. There's no rush. For example, some of my best songs, and you know, the EPs that I released in 2020, Walk With Me EP and House of God, and people are coming to know them in 2023 and 2022. So it's possible that maybe I should release it now, or if I release it now, nobody will feel it the way it was. But it definitely did not even get as much listens in 2020 or in 2021 until 2022. So that's why I think, especially when you're starting out as an artist, release one song, put all your effort into it, push it. Because the thing is, you have an EP that's full of bangers, but you may not be able to push it because an EP is a couple of songs. You won't be able to put your effort on every single song on that EP. So you have 5 songs that slap. All right, push it. Focus on one, push it out, see how it does. Release the next one, release the next. That way you know that you put everything into each single. Because sometimes the best songs are even like, lost in the middle of the
album cuts.
Yeah. They're lost in the middle of the album or the EP, and no one knows them, but to you, you're like,
that's one of my favourite songs.
I still feel like that House of God. Nobody is a jam. It doesn't have as much listens as BT. I'm like,
BT,
nobody is listening to nobody. Nobody. You need to.
Would you ever do like a remix maybe and bring it back out?
Not definitely. That song, I'm not done with it.
Listen. No, but all the bigs do that. Like, I remember KB, he released an album, and then there was a specific song called DNOU, and he was like, this song is too good. No one's listening to it. So he released it, DNOU 2. Yeah. He said, listen to the song. And he re-released it.
No,
I hear it.
I have plans. I have many plans. So all the songs I feel like, I'm going to bring it back. Either as, one of the things I want to do more is like live sessions and stuff like that.
Okay.
So even if I don't bring it back as like, the same song or a remix, I'll do it live. I'll do it slightly differently, get people to listen to it, because you have to listen to it.
It's a good song. You have to listen to it by force. Do you know what makes me laugh? Like, even as we're talking, you have done quite a lot that like new artists would like to do in terms of like release the body of work, release singles. You've done live versions of songs. You've done acoustic versions, Christmas singles. These are things that people have, their list. And I believe you're an independent artist.
Yes.
So I would love to ask for the people that are, really desiring to be signed and everything, how you've managed to like navigate your career as an independent artist, and if being signed was even one of the things you desired.
Definitely, because you don't want to be doing all the work yourself. It's a lot of work, but again, I believe that your passion will push you, and how bad do you want it, or how do you want it? So it's a thing of, definitely, if you're thinking it's going to be easy, it's not going to be easy, because you're the one writing the music, you're the one producing the music, or you're the one putting out the music, you're the one thinking of the marketing strategy, you're the one thinking of the video, you're the one thinking of press release, you're the one doing everything by yourself. So it definitely has to be something about passion, and you also have to be well informed. So never stop learning, but it is very achievable and it's very possible, especially, and you have to be well informed, because if you get signed and you don't know what you're getting into, that might just mess up your entire life. Trust me, so many stories of big people being signed, they lost all their intellectual property, all those kind of stuff. True. So you don't want to just be in a hurry and be like, I want to be signed, and then, now find yourself in a fix. So I would say be well informed and start off. Know what you're doing, because it's always good when you know what you're doing and you join a record label, because nobody will tell you, do this and do that. You can be like, nah.
You can speak confidently.
Yeah, you can be confident. You can tell the producer, this is what I want. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you have to take whatever they give you.
It's true.
So you have to be well informed. It's like every other field. Don't just think that music is an easy route. Be well informed, learn. Find out what you're doing.
So I'm excited to jump into the music, to actually ask you about a couple of the singles.
Yeah.
The thing is, with Naffymar, normally when I do these interviews, I can just quickly pick a couple songs, songs that I relate to. There is so much music. I was like, which single should I pick? But I just picked a few of the more recent ones, and then some of the ones that like I remember like discovering you from. But starting with what is currently, as of the time of recording this, the latest single, Stuck on You. Stuck to You, featuring TBaz and Hills Music. This is a banger. I enjoyed this song. Can you please tell us the journey of making this song?
Stuck to You. When did I do that? I recorded this sometime last year. Funny enough. Yeah. Okay. Stuck to You has been one of them ones that's been in there, like, okay,
in the vault.
Yeah, literally. I wanted to do something different, and I was just on a different, like, around the time I did Celebrate, we started working on Stuck to You, and I wanted to go down that route, old school, funk, disco, soul, R&B. I wanted to just play around with that and see and when I was writing that, I wanted to write something, a love song to God. So funny enough, most of my songs are love songs to God, right? And then I write it just thinking about God, and then I finish, and I'm like, okay.
I'm like, to God, okay.
And then people think maybe it's a love song, but funny enough, it's just purely to God. And then I realized it's something that I can relate to, your lover, your friend, I guess. So, Stuck to You is one of the ones, like, I was thinking about how God's love is so delightful and exciting. And then working on it, I was like, there's like a sample, I just try different things. What's that bit again? Anyway.
I'm like, live performance.
Nah, you gotta pay for that.
And then obviously TBaz is one of the producers you often work with, so we're kind of used to that, like that collaboration. But then you had Hills Music in there as well. Tell us a bit about having that collaboration.
So that's all in TBaz. TBaz sometimes he worked that. So I just literally came in with the vocals, and then obviously we worked with saying, okay, let's do this with Hills Music, as they're like growing and they're absolutely amazing, help releases and stuff like that. So yeah, that was what Stuck You was about. So
we love that. So that's currently the most recent single, but obviously by the time you guys are listening to this, there might be like 3 more or 4, maybe an album.
You just never know.
That's why you have to follow and keep up with her, you know. Next one I want to ask you about is WRME, which stands for Water, Runaway My Eyes, which I think is pidgin. Yes. Right? Okay, it is pidgin. I'm like,
Water, Runaway My Eyes.
I'm like, that's not quite English. There's something there, you know, there's something there. Featuring
anything is possible. You can make it English. Water, Runaway My Eyes.
Yeah, it sounded like if you just, use autocorrect or something to try and find the sentence. And you're like, but like, tell us about that song, because I really enjoyed this song. This is a vibe, a real bop. Tell us about this song.
Agent Snypa, big shout out to her. She's absolutely amazing. We're actually working on another song together. Yes, Agent Snypa is very unique. I love the patois thing that she brings. Yes. Yeah, she's actually...
Is she Nigerian?
She is Nigerian.
But I very much thought she was giving Jamaican.
She is fully Jamaican. Even though she's Nigerian, she's fully Jamaican. 100%. Like, she is just so good at what she does. And we wanted to just create that song for Thanksgiving. So TBaz again. Shout out TBaz.
Shout out TBaz. Huge fan.
We were in the studio all together. I had made a trip to Nigeria, so we were all in the studio together. Yeah. So TBaz brought the beat, like, okay. She just happened to be in the studio, funny enough. It wasn't even planned. We were just like working. TBaz and I were supposed to drop an EP. So that was part of an EP we were working on. And then we started, and like, you know what? Like, you can jump
here. You're here.
That's the same thing with Check, with Sound Jams.
That was my next one, That was my next one.
Funny enough, we worked in the studio all at the same time. So we're all in the studio, and it was just a thing of TBaz and I were working, and they're like, you're here. Come on, like, write something. Same thing with Check. Like, oh, write something. And then Check is one that everybody thinks, like, it's a love song, but that was the...
Oh, no, I did as well.
Yeah.
On Check.
Check.
On Check.
The funniest bit is, we weren't thinking of like love, like couples. It's just like, yeah, God got my heart on check. Yeah, like he gave us a blank check, right? Anything you require for life, you have it. And then, especially my verse, like many years ago, many people told me you'll come and go. It sounds like, oh, this is so romantic, but I can relate because that's the love of God. And if you understand God's love, then you'll be able to translate it to the love with your, to love with whoever you're with. So that's how Check came about, and that's how we wrote it. And then after we listened to it, like, okay, this is definitely a love song.
It's giving romantic,
So we now ended up like just marrying it to like a romantic, but here's a love song definitely to God, but you can also relate because there's some things that we said that no man can give it to you. Let's be honest. No man can give it to you.
That's the truth. You know? That's really good. That is one of my favourite songs. It was even the next one I was going to go on to. But I love that these collaborations, these sounds, these songs came out organically from just, being in the same space with like-minded Christians who want to catch a vibe, want to create good music, and that's how it happened.
Definitely. Just to cut you, I absolutely love... I don't like working when there's no chemistry. And these are people who are my friends. They're my people. We've worked together. There's already a bond. So the vibe is always different in the studio. You're not forcing it, or you're not trying to... If I'm like, this is whack, I'll tell them.
Yeah, it's not awkward. Let's keep going.
Exactly. It's like, if this is... That's the beauty of collaborating with people that you're cool with. Because I can be very picky. God help me. TBaz knows. He's the one person that knows. And my other producer, Asha, he knows how picky I can be. And especially even in production and stuff like that. So I want to be able to work with somebody that if you do something I don't like, I can tell you. Till now, there's actually a song that I'm supposed to work on with someone. The person said in the verse. And I was like... Hitting. It was hitting, but it just wasn't right, and I just didn't know how to continue the conversation. So it's like, it's still hanging.
I'm like, what's the solution? You just left it.
I was like, coming. It's coming. No, okay. I was just looking for the best way to approach the situation. That's fine. So that's why I'm like, it's always good when you don't force a collab. Sometimes you really have to push, so you can explore different audiences and stuff like that. But the best is when there's already a connection. Yeah. Because if what I'm singing is rubbish, they can tell me. Like,
you can do better. Just smoother.
Exactly. Yeah. So I love working with people who teachable, who you relate with, so you can always just say that. That's one thing I love about collabs, to be able to express myself fully without trying to be reserved or not offend you.
Yeah,
you know?
That's really good. That makes sense. Okay, and the final song that I wanted to ask you about, even just staying on the vein of collaboration, and it's actually the first song that I say the first song as if I found you, but the first song I was able to discover your music with, and it's called Enough, and it features our SheHH sister, Asha Elia, and SheOK. This is a bop, and the reason I like it is because it was something very different at the time that it started. It was something that I didn't really hear the type of sound before, and so to experience that in this way, I was like, yeah, I think I really want to check out who this person is and like listen to more stuff. And then by then, this was a long time ago as well, this song came out.
Yeah.
By then there was more stuff coming out, and then obviously we're now in 2023 and there's so much new music. So yeah, that was a long question, but how did this song come about, from writing it to the collaborations to releasing it to the world?
Now, Enough is one of them ones. I had that song for since 2017.
Really?
Yeah. I had the beat of that song since 2017, but it didn't end up dropping until 2020.
Yeah.
It's just them ones that I was literally at work, I was on my break, I was listening to the beat, and then I went through daily devotional, God Rhapsody Reality, and it talked about God's grace. And I found the scripture, God's grace is enough to empower you. So it is your sufficiency, my sufficiency, that's how it was. And so I had the chorus for the longest time, and I was just like, I just knew it was them ones that you have to have somebody on it.
Yes.
And SheOK is fantastic. His pen game is out of this
Phenomenal.
world. Yeah, SheOK is one of the artists that I absolutely love. And I would, if I had my way, I would work with him over and over and over and over and over again. Same thing with Sam Jams and Agent Snypa.
Is he based in Nigeria as well?
Yes. So that's it. So I reached out to SheOK, and then by then I think Asha and I just met. And so I called her. I was still in uni, so I called her to the uni in my studio. Wow.
The studio in your uni.
I called her to the studio in my uni. We met up there and recorded Enough, and then we met up again to just like finish up stuff, and that's how Enough came about. So
nice. And you guys like friends now, so it's like since then till now. I love to be able to see, like, and I think she was also just starting around that time as well. Yeah. So it was so nice to see like the beginning of Asha Elia, the beginning of Naffymar. Yeah. Well, not the beginning, it was early in the journey. Till now, you're both huge stars. You're both like growing. You're both at the premiere the Step Forward Awards, representing the women in this game, especially in this country. I was just like, it's so nice to see like music that glorifies God is different, and to see two women just like come together on a song and just like really like champion it. So that's always going to be one of my favorite songs. So it's amazing that from then it was like listen to more music and Ta-da! Okay, so obviously there's going to be loads more new music, and you hinted at an EP, but what is something you're excited for the rest of this year, and something that we can look forward to from you?
Oh, I'm excited about so many things. I'm at that phase where I'm exploring again, and I'm just like, okay, I want to do something new. I'm kind of, I don't want to say bored, but I kind of had enough of the stuff I'm working or I've worked on so far. So you're going to experience a very new Naffymar, new stuff, let's say from second half of this year.
Okay.
Good music coming out.
It's going to be good.
It's good music coming out even till June. But like from June, just expect newness. Just expect something fresh, especially in the gospel scene. However, this one I'm very excited about. So I did an acoustic EP with my favourite songs. And with that one, it's just me. So it's just an intimate time, let's say, with me and just expressing the songs, how I enjoy them. So you have Enough.
Of course.
On there. You have You Are Good. Yes,
another
on
good
there.
Song.
You Are Good. You have Power. On there. You have Enough. You Are Good. Adore Him. I already dropped that.
Yes, you dropped the acoustic
Christmas.
recently,
So it'll be part of that EP. And then You Are Good. What other song? Bless the Lord, BTL.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've got those 5 songs in an EP, just acoustic, just me. The other artists, it would be nice for them to be on them, but I just thought, you know what, let's just have an intimate time.
Come on, like a stripped back version.
Yes. I wouldn't say stripped back because I can be so extra. So
okay, so no, it's stripped back, but there's still layers.
Yeah.
I want harmonies, I want layers.
Exactly. People be thinking it's acoustic, but I literally flood it with harmonies because I love my harmonies. But it is still very chill, and I just wanted you to experience a different side to the songs, a different version. Still enjoyable, still my fave. So that's coming. When is it coming out? March 17th.
So soon.
Yes. March 17th, is that soon? Yeah, March 17th. And I'll be dropping so what I'm doing this time is I'm dropping visuals for it each week. It's just simple. It's just literally simple visuals of me performing.
I love
the
visuals
songs.
personally. I'm such a visual person.
So it'll just be exclusively on YouTube each week, and then the entire EP will drop on March 17th.
Oh, amazing. So there's loads of stuff to be excited for and to look forward to.
So much.
I am so grateful that we've had the opportunity to sit down and just chin wag, as we say in the UK, which just means chat, just means talk. Just to talk about your journey so far and just where the Lord is taking you. The final question that we like to ask here at SheHH, and it's just something that we believe is important to think about as Christians, as women, as people. What is something you would love your legacy to be? So when is your time to go? The Lord takes you home. What's something you would love them to say about you?
This is so cliche, but I want people to know that I was here. I want to leave knowing that I gave it all. I did everything that God called me to do. I want to be that artist that's remembered as being fearless and just didn't, wasn't afraid to show who they are to the entire world. I want to be remembered for excellence. I want to be remembered for someone who was unashamed about the gospel, but was also very creative about it. I want to be remembered as someone who took the gospel beyond, the church, who you can find, who is mainstream, but at the same time, the message is there, who's representing Jesus globally. So I want people to think of Naffymar and think, wow, that excellent girl, that creative individual who was unashamed about Jesus and who took her gifts to length through the power of God.
Amen. What a powerful legacy. I pray that will be the case in Jesus' name. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Naffymar, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating wherever you're listening to this and to follow us on Instagram at SheHH Podcast.